The World Wrestling Federation. For over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
Oh, it's live, pal.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never, ever end.
Everybody three count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Or maybe The Rock has got to beat Triple H himself, which means he's got to beat the game in the middle of the ring. And he has a $2 for a wife.
You're too damn selfish, and that's why you're sitting there with a bad leg, and that's why I kicked your leg out of your leg.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
3 ain't enough now, I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
Oh my goodness, what do we do? There's a 1, there's a 2. Oh!
Wow. So make no mistake about it, this is an official declaration of war. This is what you call a paradigm shift.
Welcome, everyone. 3 Count Thursday, live here on our Facebook page and with you on a Thursday night. It is July the 16th, 2020. We are the podcast of the millennium, and we have tons to talk about this week, including what the hell is a horror show? And you can't spell hero without KO. But first, make sure you go to 3countthursday.com. There you can find all of our social media links, our YouTube channel, our merchandise at whatamaneuver.net.
What a maneuver!
Thank you, Tim. We also have our home network, NGSC Sports, at ngscsports.com. We also stream daily at leebsports.com. Ryan, that would be
LEEIBsports.com.
There you go. Ryan got in just in time to deliver that drop. And much, much more. Again, make sure you're subscribed to all of our podcast feeds. And if you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate and review us, both the full show as well as the new Hot Tag podcast as well. So we got a full crew in here tonight. Unfortunately, intern Mark says he will not be joining us on the show. But we have Matt, as usual. Matt, wait.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. As my name tag here specifies, no more chronic in the best theme. So hey, it's a good week.
You're damn right it is. Ryan,
How you doing?
Well, not great. Chronic got knocked out somehow. It's ridiculous.
Somehow.
Yeah. The numbers are all wonky. I still don't believe it. Whatever.
All right, Tim, via the road.
How you doing?
I'm great. I just watched my beautiful queen try to plug iPhone headphones into a Nintendo Switch. So that was so it was fun. But yeah, everything's great. We're on the road. We're killing it.
Awesome. And then our honorary 6th member, she is back with us because we got pay-per-views to predict. Brittani Nikole.
How you doing?
I'm good. I am so excited to be back on with you guys. I've missed you. And yeah, coming in from the road, and then Ryan shows up late, but fashionably late.
Yeah, well, that's we wouldn't have it any other way with Ryan, really, to be honest.
Ryan,
that's just the way Ryan does. If you're following along with us on the live video, please give it a like, please give it a share. We would appreciate that. And we are glad again to be with you here. We want to remind everybody to go vote. The opening round of our themes tournament, our top themes tournament, voting ends tomorrow night I guess it would be Saturday morning at midnight, or tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. So make sure you go there, tinyurl.com/3CT round of 64. I believe is the link on that. You can find it on our social media. as well. We are excited to see how the bracket's going to shape out. The next round will be unveiled, as this week's was, during Raw on Monday. So it'll give us the weekend to tabulate the votes and put the next round of the bracket together. And we have, Ryan, I believe we have an independent show this weekend. Is that correct? Is it? I know there was some questions. We have some new regulations here in the state of Pennsylvania to protect ourselves from this goddamn virus. But do we have a show this weekend?
Jim, we do have a show this weekend. Tickets were starting to be sold. I know it sold pretty well. People are ready and excited to get wrestling back. It is going to be at the Orioles Home Association. That's 12 East Main Street in beautiful Newmanstown, Pennsylvania. Have you guys been to Newmanstown this time of year?
Well, not this year, Ryan, because there's a goddamn pandemic that has just decided to keep me in my house for the past 4 months.
The pandemic has not slowed the beautiness of Newmanstown. It is gorgeous, picturesque.
Well, that's perfect, and it's going to be outdoors to enjoy.
We have had to move the show outside, so that's fine. Indie wrestling fans don't like shower very often or anything, so we won't have any of that stench to worry about. I believe the Orioles Nest makes food. This is the first show we've had there. It's going to be the new home of ACW. We're gonna have some fun guests. It's gonna get a little hardcore, maybe. Jim, I know you like it hardcore, so
well, is there gonna be a live stream of it? Because if not, I'm probably not gonna see it.
Okay, Jim, it's not porn. It's hardcore wrestling. It's different.
Oh,
different.
Well, that's
different.
Completely different.
I was confused. So Sonny's not going to be there.
Sunny is in. No, she's not in there. I think she's in the joint.
Well, I was gonna say, unless you got her phone card delivered to her, today or tomorrow.
The phone card. We can't send packages in because of COVID-19. Sunny will not be Skyping in. I know. Refunds are available at shouldn'thavebookedsunny.com.
What about my subscription to her OnlyFans? What is that gonna do for me? Can I transfer that to Jim Ross?
You cannot.
Jim Ross has an OnlyFans?
Probably.
Well, no, Jim Ross is just always horny on Maine, so he's subscribed to everybody, and so I figured I can gift him mine because he probably already has a freebie account from Sonny and whoever else that he wants to thirst trap about, like Sonny Kiss.
She may be able to keep the OnlyFans going if you mail her a cake with a cell phone inside of it. I don't know how all of that stuff works.
I mean, there is prison TikTok. Like there's prison TikTok. Like there's like a weird algorithm you can figure out, and you can dive into the deep dark web of prison TikTok.
Well, it would be deep and dark if it's Sunny. So
I don't want to see any. I don't want to see prison TikTok.
Cavernous, just Ryan, independent wrestling, ACW. Let's hear some of the
Rogue Women Warriors. It's called Smells Like a Freak Show. I'm going to run over some of the matches. Some of these names we've heard before. Are we still talking
about Sunny, or are we talking about the
show? The show is called Smells Like a Freak Show in tribute to Sunny.
Okay.
Because I believe how they came up with the name. Yes, this is only a tribute.
So proceeds go to
the
legal
ACW
defense,
Tri-State Championship. Scotty Jeffries wrestling Bones. Bones is your champion there. What else do we have here? The Rogue World Championship. Lena Lennox taking on Riley Shepard. Both of them former guests. Riley for sure.
Riley, yes. Lena, no.
Veda Scott's going to be in the house. Veda Scott taking on Megan Mason. Everybody loves Veda Scott. She has kittens and cats.
Love Veda.
Tim Donst is wrestling Dame. Tim Donst, he's a local boy, wrestling Dame for the ACW Heavyweight Championship. Again, under the beautiful scenic stars and skies of Newmanstown, Pennsylvania. Bell time tomorrow, 7 o'clock. It's a great bell time. Danny Moe versus the returning Trixie Tash versus Tasha Steele. That's not her name. Something Steele. Shit, I forget her name. Gina Steele?
Tasha Steele's would have been a big get with coming off her What?
Yeah, it wasn't that one.
AEW
Yeah,
appearance?
no.
The other steel.
Who the hell
Not
is
that
this?
steel.
I don't know. I'm not even good at what I do. I'm supposed to call the action. I don't even know the fucking wrestlers. It's gonna be a shit show.
It's okay. You got 2 days, Ryan.
I've gotten real bad. Jay Savage versus Chowberg. They're little people. They're littler than average size people.
Little people. That's the right way
little folk. They're little folk. They're gonna do
little person.
They're gonna do lots of damage. It's gonna be the biggest damage we've seen. It's gonna be great. But Chowberg, that's gonna be fun. Andy Hetter's gonna be there. He is wrestling Stockade. I'm excited to see Stockade because I heard he sells masks at his merch table. Stockade sells everything, so you can buy a Stockade merch mask. That'll be great.
We love masks. Yes.
We love masks. The cruiserweight champion, Jack Hershey, who's a legit cruiserweight, is wrestling Saren Faust, who has more of a body size like me, so I'm not sure why he's a cruiserweight, but he's fighting for the cruiserweight belt. Good luck to him. And that's back to the back. Oh, and Sandman's going to be there. Holy shit.
Oh.
Yeah, you had me sold up until you said Sandman is going to be there.
The Sandman, yeah, he's going to have his cane. I'm assuming they're selling beer. Who the hell knows? It's going to be outside. The Orioles Nest in Newmanstown, Pennsylvania. Masks are required. Social distancing rules do apply. Hand sanitizing stations will be set up throughout the outside for you to make sure your hands are clean at all times. Please bring a mask. We don't want to turn anybody away for not following those rules. Masks, social distancing, wash your hands.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're 4 months into this thing and you don't know how to wash your hands, well, you probably shouldn't go to the wrestling show. Like, let's just
to the show.
Let's just be honest.
I think there's like 10 tickets left. We're still capping it right around 75, 80, even though it's outside. We could do up to I think it's 250 under the new guidelines.
Yeah,
so we had to move it outside for the tickets already sold. But we're pretty excited to try to put a wrestling show on. This may be the last one in a while. Who the hell knows?
I mean, that's amazing you're doing one because we just got confirmation by our wrestling commission today that we will not be having wrestling in Louisiana for the rest of the year.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
That sucks. That sucks real bad.
Yeah.
I heard Ohio is also really close to shutting it down for the year too.
Yeah, that's where I'm originally from, and my mother's up there, and she said that they're pretty much shutting everything down up there. So.
Yeah, I got
just shutting it down.
Better safe than sorry. It sucks. It does suck because we all want it back and but you know.
And let's be honest. I mean, we're sitting here in July and these shows are taking place, but it would not shock me if Pennsylvania goes that route very shortly. I mean, it was just yesterday that some of these new regulations came about because things are going in the wrong direction again. So it's if you're in the area and you want to get out to a show while you still can this year, then by all means get to Newmanstown on Saturday. I will not be there. I'll tell you that right now.
I am shocked to hear that.
I am going to stay safe at home, but I wish everybody there the best on Saturday night for independent wrestling.
I do want to give a shout out to the whole ACW crew. They had the entire Orioles Nest set up on Tuesday. Wednesday morning, they finalized the entrance area, and then the governor came out Wednesday night, I think at 3:00, and pulled the rug out. They had to break everything down today to have it outside. I believe the local fire company is pitching in and letting us use some of their space as well outside. So thank you to everybody involved. For us, we're really trying to put this together for the fans and for the boys. Let them get out and play a little bit too.
Yeah, I had seen the picture yesterday with the setup, and it looked pretty badass.
It ain't there anymore.
Never been to the Orioles Nest, and won't be there anytime soon. But
you're an Orioles fan, though, right?
I am an Orioles fan, and let's be honest, you could put 9 guys from the Orioles Nest in Newmanstown, and they would probably be better at baseball than the Baltimore Orioles. But we'll deal with that in a little over a week as baseball returning. But we got a couple of items here to cover here on July the 16th. Only 2 birthdays today. Last week was a heavy birthday week. Bobby Lashley, our friend, was born in 1976. and Excalibur. You hear him on Wednesday nights in AEW. He was born in 1980.
So like your two least favorite people, Jim. I'm surprised we even had an on respect.
Well, here, that's the funny, is, I've been very not a fan of Bobby Lashley in WWE at all, but the pandemic era Bobby Lashley has been spectacular. This pairing with MVP has been fantastic. So I wouldn't go as far to say I'm a full-fledged Bobby Lashley fan, but I am a fan of the current Bobby Lashley product. Also, a sad one. In 1988, Frank Goodish, better known as Bruiser Brody, was stabbed in the shower stall in the locker room in Puerto Rico. Of course, passing away later that night, technically the morning of July 17th, from blood loss. It was Jose Gonzalez that was charged with first-degree murder, later acquitted. Bruiser Brody, a true legend of the business, particularly in Japan, was just 42 years old at the time of his death. Also, in 1994, Sid Vicious defeated Jerry Lawler by forfeit for the USWA Unified Heavyweight title in Memphis, Tennessee, ending Lawler's 19th run with that championship. And then finally, in 2014, The Rock appeared on Sports Nation and discussed the idea of returning to a WWE ring. He noted that the original plan was to wrestle Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30 and then possibly a return match at WrestleMania 31, but his injury had changed plans. So that was for July the 16th. All right, so we're going to jump in here. We have two pay-per-views to predict. One Saturday night, 8 p.m. pay-per-view and Fight TV. That is Impact Slammiversary. And then, of course, we will get to the horror show, and we'll discuss what that even means. But let's start with Impact. And this one's going to be very interesting because, truth be told, I couldn't tell you the last time I watched Impact. However, I plan on purchasing this pay-per-view, so I feel it appropriate to predict it. And there's some potential surprises and excitement around this one. So has anybody, and we'll go Ryan, Matt, Tim, and Brittany, and that'll be the order. Has anybody been keeping up to date with any of the Impact product?
A little bit, yes. Not as much as AEW or the WWE, but yes, I have.
Good. Matt?
No, not at all.
Awesome. Tim?
They got rid of Michael Elgin. That's all I know.
Perfect. Brittany, how about you?
I think the last time I actually watched an episode was last Slammiversary. So yeah, I'll be watching this Slammiversary. It's like a catch up.
Yeah, perfect. And if they do
I didn't
video
know you guys
work,
were all
well,
gonna fucking be honest here. I haven't watched a shit minute of Impact in 2 or 3 years. God damn it! I didn't know we were all going honesty.
Devin says he hasn't, and Jason asks, Impact is still in business? Hey, they're the little engine that could. They're like that. They're like that fly that you can't get rid of.
They have great match. Like they do have some great things. I mean, and I really do like Jordan Grace being there. Like they do have some great things. I just don't get to watch it because I don't have access to is it on the Access channel? What's the channel it's on?
Is it?
It's called Access. Yeah, I don't have access
still on
to
Access, I believe.
I don't think it's on Access, is it?
I thought it was Impact on Pop. Is that not a thing anymore?
No, it's Destination America.
No, they're on Destination Ecuador. They're on that new channel.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what channel they're on. Like, it goes into my DVR every week, and then like come Sunday night, I start looking over, and there's too much stuff in the DVR as it is, and I'm like, I'm not gonna catch up with this, so I just delete it. Like I look at it and I go, oh, that's cute, and then I delete it, and that's about where it's at. And I'm not, and I know like it sounds really bad, and I'm really not trying to discredit because there is a lot of great talent on the Impact roster. And you know, there are a lot of people that are Impact fans, and so I'm we're having fun here. I'm truly not discrediting anybody there. It just, I mean, there's weeks where I don't watch SmackDown, I don't watch AEW, I don't watch NXT. Rarely I do miss a Raw. Like if it goes past a couple of days and I look in the DVR, I just don't catch up on it. It's almost impossible at this point that, like, if you're really gonna try and keep track of all the wrestling that's out there. So
so much.
There's 7 matches, and we're gonna I'll work bottom to top, crust to tip. Jason says, "Yep, I googled it. They are still in fact rolling." So thank you, Jason, for checking with us on that one. Again, if you are following along with us here in the live video, feel free to comment and like and share.
Jason, he's the big AEW fan, right?
The biggest AEW fan.
Now that he found out that Impact's still around, will he give them a shot like he gave AEW a shot?
He might. I mean, I know he's a huge AEW fan, so he does appreciate the non-WWE company. So
right,
I'm sure
right.
he will he'll give them a visit here. All right, let's start at the bottom. This is a tag team open challenge. It is the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier. Desmond, of course, a former guest of this program with obviously with the open challenge. So we don't know who their opponents will be. So let's give a prediction on who we think the opponents will be and who will come out on top. I am going to predict it to be Gallows and Anderson. I know there's been a lot of buzz around them potentially returning to Impact. So I am going to go ahead and say that it'll be them, and they will pick up the win here on their return. So, Ryan.
Yep.
I guess that's me. So I'll be different here. You know what? Let's say the Brothers of Destruction, and they get the win.
Perfect. Tim, how about you?
Okay, I have a leading question. Are the North booked on the card?
The North have.
They are, yes.
Yeah, the North are defending their tag team titles.
So then, what titles do the Rascals have?
No, I think it's just like an open, like, we're gonna be here. Come and fight us.
Okay, sure. I'm going Hawkins and Broski.
Okay, I love it, and they're gonna win, I would assume.
You don't love that, Jim. Don't fucking say you love that. You don't love anything Zack Ryder.
I love the fact that he gave me an answer.
So on brand, the Rascals win.
Okay.
Because Hawkins can't win for shit.
Very good. Brittany, how about you?
I'm torn. I like the idea of it being like somebody coming in. I mean, Gallows and Anderson would be cool. I do like the idea of Hawkins, and like that'd be fun. I don't think they're gonna win either way, but what Tim said, sure.
Perfect.
Yes.
Ryan, would you like to amend your terrible answer from before, or are you just gonna stick with yes?
I would disagree with you, Jim. Why would I say the same thing you said? Yes, what you said is my answer.
Oh,
yes.
Well, I like that. I like social distance, Ryan. He agrees with me a lot, actually.
Right. Quick and to the point, baby.
It's kind of nice. All right. Devin says it'll be Rhino and Heath Slater, and they will pick up the win. Moving on to the an old school rules match for the unsanctioned TNA World Heavyweight Championship. No idea what any of that means, but Moose, I guess, is defending it against Tommy Dreamer because 2020. I'm going to go ahead with Tommy Dreamer. Sure. Tommy Dreamer, world champion in 2020. Ryan, how about you?
I think Moose just brought this back as like a toy prop belt, kind of similar to like the FTW belt, that it doesn't really have much meaning.
We're just throwing champion. You get a championship. You get a championship. You get a manager. You get a manager.
Right. Everybody gets championships and managers. I'm going to disagree with you here and say Mr. Moose will retain.
Now, I truth be told, I did read a little bit of news about this today. I guess the original plan was that TNA was going to run, or excuse me, Impact was going to run a pay-per-view around the Tampa area around WrestleMania weekend, and they were going to do like old TNA like gimmick matches, and they're going to do a King of the Mountain match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Moose was going to win that, and then the pandemic happened, and they just decided to kind of do like when Ric Flair came to WWF and had the NWA title and just kind of carried it because he had it there. That's what they did. That I guess is how this situation came to be. Yes, Jason, Tommy Dreamer apparently still alive. Matt, how about you?
Okay, so is Old School Rules, is that spelled SKOOLROOLZ?
Not on the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Titan Towers still has that trademarked or not either.
Okay, then Tommy Dreamer is my pick.
Perfect. Now if it would have been spelled the other way, would Moose have won, or would it have still been
Yeah,
Tommy
to
Dreamer?
follow along with the double O's.
Gotcha. Tim, how about you?
Even though Moose is trying his best to get canceled in the middle of 2020,
Jesus, you ain't kidding.
Also bring down Rick O'Shea, Casey Cannizzaro, and other people, I still think that Moose Nation is winning because they don't have Michael Elgin anymore, so they need to back somebody else. So it's Moose.
There you
Moose.
go. Yeah, that was a weird it was a weird afternoon from that front. But Brittany, how about you? How about you on this one?
It's it's weird times. I mean, I guess it's gonna be Moose. I highly doubt. I mean, it's 2020. Who the hell even knows what's happening anymore? But I mean, I don't think Tommy Dreamer is gonna get. They're not gonna. It's gonna be Moose. Moose is gonna keep it. But you know, Tommy Dreamer will sell his ass off. That'll happen. That's gonna be nice. Moose is gonna do whatever Moose does.
Brian said that Impact is like the Christian rock of the wrestling world. And he says Striper is doing the theme song for the show. Hey, don't knock Striper, Brian. Don't you dare knock Striper. That will not be allowed in this house. All right.
If we're gonna cancel Moose for anything, I bought an 8x10 when I met Moose, and the motherfucker signed it in a big pen. Who signs in pens?
Like,
what the fuck is this?
People
cancel Moose for that.
Like, I have extra Sharpies, and he was like, "Oh no, I don't like Sharpies. I like my pen."
Oh, you were there? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I think I was there for that too.
I like my pen.
Sharpie's too permanent.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well have signed it in like a lead pencil. Like,
You might as well just like pulled out a screwdriver and just engraved it into the picture. Sure, yes,
Goddamn
Brian,
dick.
Petra. We'll allow Petra to do the theme song here. All right, let's move on here. In tag team match for the Impact Tag Team Championship, the North, which is Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, are defending against Ken Shamrock. Apparently still a thing. What year is it? Hashtag 2020 is weird. Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan, the most likely of tag teams.
Oh, yeah.
Just exactly who I would have thought Ken Shamrock would have teamed with. I have the North picking up the win and retaining their titles. Ryan, how about you?
I will go with Team Strike and Spit, Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan.
I love it. That is a great team name. Matt.
This pay-per-view, as I've predicted it so far, is already way too weird for Ken Shamrock to be winning things. So the North, let's give some semblance of normalcy to this GFW TNA Impact show.
Tim, how about you?
Is Vince Russo booking for Impact?
Probably.
Secretly,
Okay.
yes.
Like,
Because if Russo's booking this, bro, then there's one thing I know for sure, and that's tag team partners who don't like each other getting along and winning. Therefore, Team Strike and Spit are winning the thing because I'm showing up in a Giants jersey because you know it's real.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Brittany, how about you?
Oh God. I'm just gonna go with the North because I just need order and balance to be restored to this pay-per-view. I need the North to win because I don't know if they pulled like if they had like a hat in the back with a bunch of names in it and they were just like, all right, Ken Shamrock and Sammy. Yeah, you'll be great. It's fine. It's cool. Yeah, it's great. You'll be fine.
They went to one of those axe throwing bars and they like blindfolded Dixie Carter and she just started drunkenly throwing axes at the wall. And the first two names it hit were Ken Shamrock and Sammy Callahan. Devin has the North winning. Jason seems baffled that Ken Shamrock is still at the. We're messing with Jason big time this week on the show. You got to keep those Google fingers ready, Jason, because Lord only knows what else is going to come out throughout this show. All right, we have a gauntlet for the gold match to determine number one contender for the Impact Knockouts Championship. Alicia Edwards versus Havoc, Kira Hogan, Kimberly, Kylie Ray, Nevia. Is that how you say that? I should have read this beforehand. Madison Rain, Rosemary, Susie, Tasha Steeles, and Taya Valkyrie. I'm going to share the love to another former guest of this show and go with Kira Hogan picking up the win and becoming the number one contender. Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, man, there's just a shitload of talent in this match.
Right?
This match, very, very exciting to watch. I'm going to go with Smiley Kylie.
There you go. Very good. Matt, how about you?
I'm gonna have Tasha Steeles winning her match at ACW and then going all the way to Slammiversary and winning there too for like the true 2020 situation.
Very fast.
I love it. Tim, how about you?
I'm going to keep it going with all these different answers. I'm picking Taya Valkyrie.
All right.
Because Johnny Nitro.
Perfect. Loved it. Love it.
Yeah,
Brittany, how about you?
I'm torn because there's so much talent in this match. Like this actually could be I don't actually know any of the matches that are on this card, but so far what I'm hearing, this could be the best match of this card leading up so far from we've got bottom to, so this is going to be a great match regardless, but I'm torn between Susie and Rosemary. I feel like I kind of just want to see Susie continue to play out the Susie instead of Su Yung. I want to kind of see where this can go. And I feel like her storyline needs to continue. Taya's already been champion. We've run through that gauntlet.
Sure.
Or Havoc. I really do love Havoc so much. She's fantastic. So, I mean, I don't know. All of them. I want all of them to win. It's 2020. They all get titles.
Sure. I mean, why not? At this point, why not? With everything else that's gone on, why not just have everybody win? Then we have a singles match. Devin has Madison Rain picking up the win in that one. Singles match for the Impact X Division Championship. Willie Mack defending against Chris Bay. I'm gonna have Willie Mack retain the title here. Since I have one title moving already, and may have another one moving later on. Spoiler alert! Little teaser there. Ryan, what do you got here?
I've got Chris Bay. I like what Willie Mack has done. He's kind of legitimized that championship for a big boy. He can still move, but I think we give it back to Chris. Give it to Chris Bay. A little bit more high flying, a little more flippy do action with the Impact Championship. I gotta sneeze.
Very good. You okay?
Woo!
You all right?
Bless you.
Normal sneeze. We don't have it. We don't have it, do we?
No, that's not the Rona sneeze. No, that was just my nose tickled sneeze.
Good. Matt, how about you?
I'm also picking Chris Bay, but I feel like that these two have the opportunity to become one of those thrown together tag teams in the future once Shamrock, hangs them back up for another 10 years.
He's vascular.
Very, very vascular. Tim, how about you?
Dashing Chris Bay.
Oh man, I'm out on an island here all by myself so far. Brittany, how about you?
You're still on that island because I'm going Chris Bay all the way. Chris Bay all the way.
So
Baby!
That's all right. I can deal with it. Quarantine life is I'm able to be lonely. All right, singles match for the Impact Knockouts Championship. Jordan Grace defending against Deonna Purrazzo. And I know I've been giving a lot of love to former guests of this show, but sorry, Deonna, I'm gonna say that Jordan's gonna retain here. But this match should be absolutely fantastic. This is probably the match, just looking at the card, that I'm looking forward to the most. Ryan, how about you?
This is also intern Mark's match of the night.
Absolutely is.
He had just sent me via Hershey mail phone calls that he also has Jordan Grace winning this match. As do I. I believe Jordan Grace will retain here.
Matt, how about you?
I'm picking Deonna solely to upset Mark since he's not on the show.
Fair.
Yeah, okay. Like I thought we were gonna have him on the show because Hershey Park closed at 7, and he's so disappointed. But then, like, fatherly duties. He's like, he has to. Well, like, I mean, can't you just like put the kids in front of the TV and join us on a podcast? Isn't that how it works?
I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look what Matt does. And like, I mean, Matt, you would think you have a baby that requires much more attention than like fairly grown children.
You know, she's one now. She's self-sufficient. It was a big step.
Is that the age they can start fending for themselves?
Oh, absolutely. Well, it could happen sooner, but we just kept it to the 1 year just to time.
All right. Yeah, Nikki joining us here on the video. How's it going, Nikki? Brian says intern Mark conspicuous by his absence. Absolutely. I am none too happy with intern Mark.
Who was that?
Not being here. What's that, Ryan?
Who was that from? That comment?
Cousin Brian said that.
Hello. Hi, Cousin Brian.
Cousin Brian with us as well.
Ask him, and I guess I can ask him because he hears my voice too. Are you coming this weekend to Atomic Championship Wrestling Saturday night? It's going to be outside in beautiful Newmanstown, Pennsylvania. The cherry blossoms are blooming.
Oh, are they now?
Nope, there's no trees there.
No trees in Newmanstown. Tim, who do you have here for the Impact World Knockouts Championship? Sure, it's a world championship.
Yeah, it's a world championship. I have to go with my gut and go with Deonna Purrazzo.
All right. And Brittany, how about you? Oh, Brittany doesn't seem happy with that pick.
I have to go with my Hosset, Jordan Grace. Gotta go with her. She, I feel like she's holding the title really well. And I'm excited just for this match in general. I mean, Deonna is fantastic as well. It's gonna be a barn burner.
It absolutely is. And then the final match of the night, again, as with the open challenge tag team match, this one has a to be announced, to be determined spot. It is a fatal 4-way match for the vacant Impact World Championship. Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, Trey, and then a superstar to be announced. I have my prediction on who that superstar will be. I think this is the landing spot for Ethan Carter III. And I think that Ethan Carter III will claim back his spot at the top of Impact Wrestling, and he will become the new Impact World Champion this Saturday night at Slammiversary. Ryan, how about you?
Jim, I think that's a great pick. I also have EC3 as your mystery opponent, your fourth man in this fatal 4-way. Really great match. I've been able to see all of these guys live. I'm going to go with Ace Austin, and I'm going to give him the hometown nod. He's a Lancaster boy. So Ace Austin will be my choice to win here at Slammiversary 18. I'm not sure what number this is.
Yeah, I've lost count at this point.
There's a lot of them.
And they, like, on the promo, like, pictures that I've seen, I haven't seen any Roman numerals on them, so I've lost track of what number it is.
Last year was 17, so this year, so I'm sure it's 18.
Well, we don't know. Again, hashtag 2020 is weird.
Wikipedia says it's the 16th, so who knows? I don't know.
See, I told you. We're traveling back in time. Time stands still. 2020's canceled. That's what my calendar. We have like one of those like dry erase calendars. We haven't had anything on there since March. My wife just wrote on there 2020's canceled. So I have no clue what year Slammiversary this is. Matt, how about you? What do you got here?
Yeah, EC3 is going to be my pick to be in and to win as well. Former guests of the show. I think there's still a picture floating around of EC3 wearing a 3 Count Thursday T-shirt somewhere. So
don't worry, I'll be sure to throw that up on the site when he wins on Saturday.
Do we have Photoshop yet? I know the budget for 3 Count's been a little tight in 2020, but let's superimpose all of us just in there. We all have pictures of us with
that shirt on. Yeah, we can make it happen. I think
he can be our unofficial 7th member. Yeah, fine. We'll make that work.
He yelled at Ryan in a backstage interview because he was being too calm.
He did not yell at me. He guided me to be more upset that he got kicked in the dick.
You were too soft spoken, I believe, is what
that was his exact words.
You were too soft spoken.
Soft spoken.
Tim, who do you have as the 4th man? Not to be confused with Mabel as the 3rd man. Who do you have as the 4th man, and who will win the world championship?
EC3 has to be the 4th guy. It's just kind of math. As far as who the champion will be, I'm gonna go Ace Austin.
Okay, so you're on Ryan Island on this one.
Yeah, because even though the story would be really nice for EC3 to come back and control the narrative, I really think the money would be in the chase for EC3. In a 4-way, he doesn't have to eat the fall. So Ace Austin can pin Eddie Edwards and be done with it. Or Trey Miguel. Isn't Trey Miguel in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can pin anyone but EC3 and be all right.
Yeah. If EC3 does not end up as champion, I don't think he's gonna eat the fall here. That would be very WWE of Impact to do that to EC3. And I'm trying to be as nice as I can so Frank actually likes me again after this podcast. Brittany, who do you have as the 4th man and the victor here?
I'm on Ryan and Tim Island with this. I mean, I go with it all thinking that EC3 is going to be the guy. It's kind of just obvious that, like, unless, again, it's 2020. We don't know. Sandman could come from that show and jump.
Get on that same flight.
Get on the same flight with Tasha Steeles. They head on over and he wins, he wins the championship. And then him and Ken Shamrock and Tommy Dreamer start a faction together. Whatever, we don't know. But I do agree that that's where it's gonna be is the hometown guy, hometown. It'll be easier for EC3 to come in and chase, like Tim said, and be able to build himself back up and do all of that kind of stuff. Because I like EC3. He's not he's got so much charisma and potential, and he's just hilarious. And but he's also a really good wrestler. So I mean, he's got it all. He just needs an outlet.
Yeah, I mean, probably the most baffling thing, and it is rare that you hear me say anything negative about WWE on this program. But the fact that they had EC3 and they pretty much never gave him the opportunity to promo or anything is probably one of the more baffling decisions in recent memory. Whether or not that, I know there's people who have differing opinions on EC3's wrestling ability, and that's fine. But you can't deny the guy's work on the microphone. He is just spectacular. Tim, have we arrived at our destination? Oh, hold on, you're muted. Hold on, Tim, you're muted. Have you arrived?
If the destination were 7-Eleven, then yes, I have arrived.
Yay! Thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
Well, it was it was just Slurpee Day the other day. I think
Get those big gulps.
There you go. Get that mask on. Get that. I was gonna bring.
Yeah, good job. Mask up.
I was gonna bring my Fiend mask down here just so you guys could see it, but then I forgot. So
Tim, you look much better with the mask covering your face.
Oh, come on.
How does the Fiend mask fit, Jim? Like, does it look like small or?
No, it actually fits my fat head and face. So it will
Shut
fit,
up.
it will fit most average human beings as well. So that's a good thing for you. Cousin Brian said he's got to head out. Mark called and he needs help. He fell asleep on the tram and they locked him in the shed. Oh dear God.
God damn it, Mark.
That would explain.
Oh, hi, Mark.
That would explain why intern Mark is not here with us. So hopefully.
How about Mark going viral there on the Twitters a little bit?
Right? He sent his dick pic to Felicia Rose and Twitter exploded.
Like it ended up like 850 likes later. Mark's phone finally broke.
At 3count intern, you can go look at intern Mark's dick pic.
Yes.
Well, Tim's ordering something. I'm not sure what Tim's ordering. Devin
Tell the guy we said hello at 7-Eleven, Tim.
Devin has EC3 as the fourth man, says he's going to win, and he remembers being that backstage that night when Ryan got yelled at by EC3.
Thank you.
I wasn't yelled at.
You were yelled at. You were being too soft-spoken, Ryan.
You know what? You guys are all going to look, and myself included, we're all going to look like fools when the big surprise is just goddamn Eric Young going back to TNA. Learn us all.
So, and this was a question that I've had on the back burner for a couple of weeks because I believe it is Saturday that is the first day that most of the release talent is eligible to end up somewhere. Do we think that anybody else is going to debut or make their return to Impact here on Saturday? Ryan, I'll start with you because you were nodding yes.
Yes, I believe we will see the triumphant return of the tag team Chronic. They will be back, one from the grave and one from retirement. Chronic is returning.
I don't think so, Tim.
Matt,
I do. No, I really do. Don't fucking dismiss me that quick, Jim.
I mean, you said Chronic. Well, okay. Let's be honest. If there was a year where Chronic was going to return, 2020 would be that year.
It could happen.
It certainly could. You know what, Ryan? I'm sorry.
Ryan Clark and like a marionette Brian Adams. It'll be all right.
Oh my God.
Oh, like that's the worst thing I said. Fuck you all.
I take back my.
I don't think so, Tim.
I take it back because you know what? 2020, sure. Chronic is going to return or make their debut.
Can we get a way out of line, please, Jim?
Yes, you can.
Way out of line. Way out of line.
I know.
We see Leo Russ.
We'll throw in the
Ridiculous.
to go as well, but it might not be that ridiculous either. Devin thinks we're going to see the return of aces and eights. I would imagine going along with the Gallows and Anderson. Jason as the fourth man obviously is going to be Vince Russo, and he will win the title. I mean, bro, why not?
Could happen.
Matt, any other thoughts of returns or debuts?
Did you even hear my real pick? Did you even hear
no,
it? You didn't.
I didn't. I thought Chronic was your real pick.
You didn't. You didn't. You hit me with those stupid way out of line shit. Leo Rush.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Matt, how about you?
I was also going to say Leo Rush. So
I don't believe
to steal Ryan's thunder. Chronic is my pick. my real pick.
That's your real pick is Chronic. Lou joining us. How's it going, Lou? Welcome in. Tim, any other returns, debuts that you think might happen?
I would have said Drake Maverick, but that's not going to happen.
No, it certainly.
So, and if it wasn't for COVID-19, I would have said Rusev, but no.
Oh, yeah. Best wishes. That's why I put the Rusev Day shirt up here. Hopefully, Rusev and both of Lana's parents. Jesus, what a week.
Yeah.
For them.
Makes me think who's the common equation in that.
I mean, it couldn't have been a WWE employee. They've been 100% on top of this thing from the get-go.
Pretty good. They've been pretty good.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. Am I?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I still think a couple of chips are gonna fall somewhere.
Okay.
Who knows?
I mean, obviously, besides the predictions we already made, yeah. It's like, I mean, I think we already had 3. All of us kind of had 3 debuting. Brittany, any thoughts on who else may show up this Saturday night?
Well, I mean, you say chronic like a ridiculous thing. However, the last time we had a like number for people who had COVID and like people who had died of COVID in New Orleans, the death toll was -1. So that means somebody came back.
Wow. What is happening down there in New Orleans?
I'll send you the screenshot. I took a picture of it, like just because I couldn't even believe it myself. I like pulled out my phone and took a picture. So it was -1 was the death toll in New Orleans of COVID. So
Congratulations to that guy or
chronic is potential. It has potential. But yeah, I'd say Leo Rush, like he's out of all the people that have been like let go, I would say he's probably the one that's the most hungry to get back out and start wrestling. I feel like Eric Young will probably go off and do a little bit of something else for now, or I'm sure that a lot of the people that have been kind of let go are wanting to do more like producer, writer, booker kind of things behind the scenes, because Eric was starting to do that already kind of. So I think it's going to be Leo Rush, because he's the main one that's going to be hungry enough to be like, yeah, someone book me, anyone, let's go, let's do this.
I'm going to go ahead with my main guy, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Matt Cardona. I don't know if you've ever heard of the guy, but he's busted his ass for years in this business, and would love to see him get a shot here in Impact. So I think he's gonna make his debut there. I think he's
one of
hungry.
the key WrestleMania moments in the last 20 years.
Yeah, well, at least in 3 count land, he had one of the best WrestleMania moments. I thought, still to this day, that basement you're sitting in, I'm surprised is still standing after he stole the Miz's championship victory at the worst WrestleMania in the network era, WrestleMania Dallas. And what a disappointment for me. It is in my NFL team's stadium, and that was just a complete shit bag from crust to tip. That entire
And your
pay-per-view.
XFL team's hometown as well.
Well, yeah, but they were playing over in the old baseball stadium. So, but man, it had the star, everything. It was perfect, and just everything went horrible.
You like the Cowboys?
Awful. I do. I know,
right?
I'm sorry. That's the reaction everybody gets.
Don't give him shit.
Well, I'm in New Orleans, so I'm a Saints fan. So
yeah, you all have my guy that should have been my coach.
Yeah, sure.
That should have been my Super Bowl, not your Super Bowl. It should have been mine.
How about that?
If you guys wouldn't have kept Jason Garrett for 37 years, maybe you could have got Sean Payton once or twice.
You're not wrong about that one. You're not wrong about that one, Tim.
Is it possible that we see Kurt Angle return? He has already spent 10 years in TNA and Impact Wrestling.
Can we see Sting back?
I heard John Cena's contract expires.
Are you sure about that?
That's what I heard.
I mean, here's the deal. I again, at this point, I think everything's on the table. If the Mortician rides his motorcycle down to the ring at this point, I would not be surprised. Like, I really wouldn't at this point. It just, nothing in this year will surprise me.
I don't think they would give him the motorcycle. They'd have to tweak it a bit. Like the Mortician will be on a Segway. Right up to the ring.
I was gonna say something, but I don't even want to put it out into the universe in 2020.
Say it.
I was gonna say, if that happens, I will claim to be a bigger AEW fan than WWE fan for the remainder of this godforsaken year. If the Mortician rides his Segway to the ring this Saturday at Slammiversary.
Oh, what if he had a hover round?
Or that. If the Mortician makes his debut at Slammiversary. I will swear that I am a bigger AEW fan, and I'll even buy that godforsaken demo god shirt that they released today for Chris Jericho. What a shitbag of a segment that was, and I hate it because I'm a Chris Jericho guy, but what an awful segment last night. Ryan.
I think it was a great segment. Are we talking about the segment now? I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, no, I thought you were gonna say something when I was ranting about the mortician.
Oh yeah, how long do you think that entrance would be on the hover round?
44 minutes.
44
minutes.
Got it. A 44-minute entrance.
It'll be the longest segment on the show by a lot. Let's go around the group. Let's give a predictive grade on Impact Slammiversary. I'll start us off. I'll say B-. Card looks fairly solid. I don't know much about what's going on, so I don't have a high level of expectation. So Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, I think B- sounds really, really good. I'm going to be really disappointed when Tino Sabatelli is the one who shows up from the WWE.
Matt, let's get your grade.
You know, as the negatrarian of 3 Count Thursday, I'm gonna give this an A+, just so I can thoroughly disappointed at the end of the show.
Kobe.
All right, Tim, how about you?
Since he wants to be me, I'm gonna be him, and I'm gonna give this show a D+.
There you go. And Brittani, how about you?
I definitely think that once the Rock and Roll Express make their debut, it's gonna be an A+ show. But until then, I'm gonna give it a C, like a solid C, not a plus or minus, just like a C. Because again, I don't quite know what's going on from the last Slammiversary, but I'm judging it on what I watched at the last Slammiversary. So yeah, I'm gonna go C.
All right, Devin predicts a B, and Jason, in true Jason form, predicts a D. So there we go.
It
Now,
would be nice if they gave us like a previously on Slammiversary at the beginning of the show, though, just to like recap what we've missed in the last 300.
in the last decade. Excuse me, what did I miss in the last 10 years of Impact/TNA wrestling? Do they do a free-for-all? Is that a thing they do? Is the before the pay-per-view?
I think it's all on Twitch. I think it's all free for all. I don't even know how they do it anymore.
I have no idea. Do we have access to their Twitch? I don't know.
Tim would be the one that would have access to it if any of us did.
He would.
Who? Tim.
Yeah, Tim's a Twitcher.
Oh, that's right.
He is a Twitcher.
Twitch is free. Anybody can go to Twitch and watch anything.
Okay, so Impact, you can get it for that is all free for all. Nikki agrees with Jason. It'll be a D. Jason also asks, is Jim Cornette's hot tub involved in this at all? Come on now.
Way out of line. Way out of line.
Matt's open. It'll be worth the $40, right? Jesus. All right, let's
Sonny's not going to be there.
Well, I mean, I know the state of Pennsylvania is trying to not allow her to be paroled. So, if that doesn't go through, then she won't be there. But again, maybe they could do that prison TikTok thing and she can get it and they can put the phone in the hot tub, because if Sonny's doing something on a camera, you would want to drop your phone into the hot tub. That is the best. That is the best course of action at that point anyway. Okay, let's move on here. We have a second pay-per-view this weekend. It is WWE's The Horror Show at Extreme Rules this Sunday night on, of course, the award-winning WWE Network. It may still be on pay-per-view as well, but as WWE used to tell us on TV, why would you buy it on pay-per-view when you could buy it on the network?
Like, do we know, can you still like order the pay-per-view?
As of a couple months ago, you could, but I honestly have no clue.
Really?
But I do miss JBL looking deep into the camera and basically saying, you're an idiot if you buy the pay-per-view. Like, why would you do it, you moron? You're spending so much money on this pay-per-view when you could just buy the network. And I mean, you used to be able to get them for free for the first month if you just created another burner email, but those days are gone. But let's start at what I don't understand how, like, a month ago, which feels like a year ago, when we were at, was it Money in the Bank? Was that the last pay-per-view?
Sure.
I've lost track.
No.
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 Backlash.
Backlash was the last.
Backrash. That's right. Backrash was the last one. Where's my goddamn sounder? Where is it? There it is.
He raked my back, and I
That's right. It was the greatest match of all time. I forgot. So they unveiled like the new logo, and I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. And then somewhere along the line, they just started saying the Horror Show at Extreme Rules, and I'm like, the fuck does that, like, what does that mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, what?
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Like, I don't. Do we have any guesses as to what that even? Because it's like there's not a Horror Show match. I don't even think there's an Extreme Rules match. There's not even an Extreme Rules match. I love the WWE, but what does this mean? Ryan, do you have any guesses? What is a Horror Show? No clue.
Jim, I'm glad you asked, because I did take advantage of the 1 free month of Sonny's OnlyFans. So I can tell you what a horror show is.
It is Sonny's OnlyFans. Devin confirms you can still buy a pay-per-view. Nikki as well. The network isn't everywhere. There's still people with AOL, because probably too. Well, and Lou brings up a great point. If an eye extraction match isn't Extreme Rules, I don't know what is. But again, it is not listed as an Extreme Rules match. Like, to be fair, I understand that a match in which you have to rip out your opponent's eye. Thank you, Ryan.
That sound has to be played when the eyes. If I don't get a pop sound,
if I don't get a pop, this thing's getting it out.
Then it's an absolute F for me.
But like, nothing is listed as an Extreme Rules. Tim, do you have any guesses as to what a horror show is?
I believe it's WWE during the COVID era. I believe that is what the horror show is.
I was really hoping when Tim responded, he was just going to turn the flashlight on his face. Let me tell you about a horror show.
Let me tell you. I've seen some things. Brittany, do you have any guesses?
I don't know what a horror show is, but I have an outfit for this specific pay-per-view. I brought my horror show. Yes. I have my horror show hat. So this is what I'm imagining is going to be at the horror show. It's just going to be this. This is the horror show. Yes, this is what I've been wearing for the pay-per-view. So this
Very
is
good.
This
Now,
is my horror show.
I won't be
couture.
wearing pants for the pay-per-view. I'm not gonna bullshit anybody. No pants here.
I mean, I've been quarantined for 4 months. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually wore pants. Full disclosure.
I generally always assume that no one's wearing pants during the 3 count episode.
I'm not wearing pants.
But I do like, Brittany, the hat, so like when the horror show gets too much, you can pull the veil down.
Yeah.
So,
I can just watch like this, and then I can be like, I'm done.
I might have to invest in one of those before Sunday. I do have Amazon Prime, so it should still arrive in time. Now I skipped over. I forgot, since we're transitioning between one pay-per-view to the other. I did put out the 3 count question of the week for this week, and it was basically just very simply, are you going to watch none of either or both of the pay-per-views this weekend? Devin said he's going to try to watch both. I am planning on watching both. I haven't gotten final approval from the boss here in the house, but
do it, fucker.
But I plan on buying the Impact pay-per-view. I will, of course, be watching my WWE pay-per-view. I mean, that's a given. So, Ryan, your answer to the 3 count question of the week.
Just do it, Jim. Put on pants for the first time in 4 fucking months and order the pay-per-view. If I was not in beautiful Newmanstown, Pennsylvania Saturday night, I would absolutely be watching the Impact pay-per-view live. But since I'm not, they're not getting a cent from me, and I'll just read the results.
Just do it.
Matt, how about you?
I mean, I will watch the WWE pay-per-view. Let me see if I have a coin here to determine.
I have a coin flip app. Oh no, you have a coin.
Flip your baby.
Yeah, she's asleep. Like to wake her up for you.
That's fair. That makes sense.
Anyway, it's heads. So yeah, I'll watch GFW as well.
Tim, will you? How? Well, I know you're going to be away. So how are you handling this one?
So if I can find Slammiversary between all the hotel room porn, I'll order it. If not, then I'll probably just have to watch the horror show that is Extreme Rules, or I think that's how it goes. Yeah, I don't know. I watch WWE pay-per-views out of obligation nowadays. So yeah.
It sounds about right. Brittany, how about you?
I will be watching the Horrow show at Extreme Rules. I will be watching that. I don't think I will probably watch Slammiversary later in the week, and or the Cliff Notes version, which is just watching the clips online, catching up on their Twitter and just watching the clips and going, oh yeah, there's the memorable parts. I'll see you again next year, Slammiversary.
It's been real Impact. I'll see you in a year.
See you in a year.
Basically how like I used to treat like Royal Rumble, like WWE pay-per-views before the network. It was like, all right, we always have WrestleMania, and then we probably have Royal Rumble. Maybe I'll see you in the summer. I don't know. All right, so let's look at these 6 matches that we have here listed for this one. I guess there could be more added tomorrow night on SmackDown, but we will this is what we have here on a Thursday. We have Apollo Crews defending the United States Championship against MVP. I actually think they're going to go MVP here, and I think this is going to eventually lead to Apollo joining this new MVP Bobby Lashley faction. Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I have 2020 because this is the year that we're in. I have MVP becoming a WWE champion in 2020.
Sure.
I mean, I thought he originally actually said like he was here for a one-off and then was going to just do this manager thing, and has seen himself in action. So yeah, why not? It's 2020. Let's give MVP some gold.
Exactly. Matt, how about you?
I don't really care about this one. Apollo Crews.
Perfect. Tim, how about you?
Well, I'm confused because even though Apollo Crews is the champion, MVP unveiled a new title, and that title's in his possession. So who's the I'm gonna go Broski on this one.
All right.
No, it's MVP. I love MVP. Yeah, Montel Vontavious Porter, please.
Perfect. That would be MVPP, or is the please not part of the initials?
Well, it'd be MVP, P.
Gotcha. Perfect. Brittany, how about you?
Ken Shamrock.
Yes.
I do. Again, it's 2020. This might be our last year on this earth. We don't know. A comet could hit. So I feel like WWE might be going back and righting some wrongs and being like, you know what? You deserve a championship now. Come on back and get a championship before all of us go to hell. So I mean, like, you're just here. So yeah, MVP is gonna get it. I really want Apollo Crews to still have it, just because I think he deserves it so much. He deserves to be a champion. He's a fantastic wrestler, and he's kind of been on the sides for so long. I mean, he's wrestled, but he hasn't really been in the spotlight. But I do feel like this is going to be a good storyline for him. I think he'll stay in the storyline with MVP and Lashley, whether he joins them or not. I don't know, but I think that he'll still be in that story arc, either against them or with them in that way. So yeah, MVP is going to win a title in 2020, and we're at the horror show. The horror show at the horror show at Extreme Rules.
The horror show at or the horror show of Extreme Rules. I'm not sure. But like, let's be honest too. Like, if there was going to be a comet that was going to hit the Earth this year, the way 2020 has been, that motherfucker is just going to hit and skip off, and we're still going to have to keep living through this damn thing because of 2020. Ryan, did you have a question before we move on?
It's more of a statement. I wasn't sure if everybody was aware that MVP is the wrong side of 30.
He is. He absolutely is. I still stick with my prediction, though.
Okay.
I appreciate you bringing the heads up on that one.
46, old as shit.
old as shit. All right, then we go to, speaking of old as shit, Rey Mysterio's taking on Seth Rollins in a eye for an eye match, and as I'm sure they'll remind us about 1,000 times on Sunday, this match can only be won when one competitor extracts the eye of their opponent. Sure, because again, 2020. There you go. See, Brittany knows what's up.
She wins.
I have Brittany won. Woohoo! I'm gonna go with Devin had Apollo winning the last match.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio, and I'm going to steal. I don't remember who it was. It was more than like 6 hours ago. That somebody had commented this somewhere on one of our Facebook posts that they think this could be a way for Seth to go away to be with pregnant Becky. So I'm going to go agree with that prediction. So I'm going to say Rey Mysterio plucks Rollins' eye clean out of his skull and is the victor in this horror show of a match. Ryan, how about you?
I am ready for this match to just be the absolute drizzling shits. This
and you
is
actually
already
said that phrase.
This is already my least favorite cinematic match ever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad.
Worse than the ninjas?
The ninjas were really bad. This is gonna be so dumb. I hate it. I don't even want to predict it. I hate it that much.
Well, I'm gonna make you. You.
Seth Rollins.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you making a prediction.
You can hide not having an eye behind a mask.
That's true. That is true.
God, what a stupid match.
Like, I defend a lot of things. I really do. I go out of my way to defend things that this company does. I go out of my way to defend things I probably shouldn't defend that this company does. But the bar for this one, pretty low.
Remember that show we were like all GMs for? I think there was a dude there that only had one eye.
Probably.
I have blocked that show from my memory.
We were there, Matt. You were there. I remember.
I imagine that was a thing that happened at that.
I think that was a thing.
Probably. Are we talking people in the crowd or an actual wrestler on that show?
About the wrestler on that show.
Okay, because I'm guaranteed there was somebody in the crowd with only one eye. But
You can't say that, Jim.
What do you mean?
Can't guarantee that shit.
What? I'm sure there was.
I don't think one-eyedness is very common. That just random. A lot of people have it. One-eyedness. Get out of here.
Like what is that one eye even supposed to signify? Like wrestling fans, like we already like
I didn't say it signified anything.
They
I just
don't
made
even
a
have eyes
prediction.
half the time.
I just made a prediction. I mean, I'm not saying anything about wrestling fan.
We heard what you said loud and clear, Jim. It was truly offensive.
It was.
Look, baby.
Making fun of people with disabilities.
Look, baby, I don't come onto this forum or sit in my car to drive to get to Palmyra to get the best pizza in the goddamn universe to insult people just based on some made up thing. I think I remember seeing somebody with an eye patch. That's all I'm saying. So I assume, baby, if you have an eye patch, that you probably only have one eye. I'm not saying that wrestling fans smell or anything like that.
God.
You know, but like I'm not
I
yelling
said
at
that
people
earlier.
with
That's
my turn
fact.
signal on. I'm just saying, baby, that
The logic's there.
is the best pizza anywhere. I mean, why would it be in New York City or like, I don't know, Italy?
Well, hold on. What
Palmyra,
topping are you putting on this
definitely
pizza?
holds up. What's that, man?
What toppings are you putting on this pizza?
Probably pepperoni or
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I assume
you would, cheap.
Matt, we'll go to you. I think we're at your turn to make your prediction on this match.
I think so. You know what? I'm gonna throw it out there. This is gonna be the best cinematic match that we've seen.
Wow.
You know, done right, the CGI loss of the eye can, like, I'll reference Kill Bill Volume 2. You can do a really solid eye pulling out. And I'm gonna pick Rey Mysterio to win because I am 100% behind Pirate Seth Rollins in 2020. Fully on board, like coming out with like the sword and the bandana. I'm tired of the Messiah Seth Rollins. We need to rebrand
Blasphemy.
Seth, and we're gonna make him swashbuckling Seth. I can see this. You probably already pre-ordered 2 of them, but yeah, Rey Mysterio wins, and I patch Seth Rollins closes out 2020 for me.
Oh, that pisses me off. That pisses me right off.
Tim, how about you?
Why is this a thing?
No fucking clue.
Like, this is a prime example of Vince McMahon finding money in something off the wall and then driving it into the ground. Like, so somebody's actually gonna get their eyeball pulled out?
That's what the match says. That's what the
Okay,
stipulation
yeah,
is.
I know better. Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins wins because I want Dominic Mysterio to do the world's largest 619s on Seth Rollins and the rest of the Funky Bunch.
Oh, well, there's only one other one, right? Like the third man in Seth's.
Oh yeah, he's canceled.
Isn't a thing anymore, right?
Ooh,
like
yeah,
like that's something I've noticed over the past couple weeks that he just gone. He gone, right?
Oh, did we cancel him?
I think so. I mean, I would assume unless he's got the COVIDs.
He could have the COVID,
but he hasn't been around, and I don't think he's been around since cancellations began.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but I want Seth Rollins.
All right, just perfect. Now, Brittany, before we get your prediction, dare we ask why you have an eye just at the ready?
Well, my jewelry hangs right next to where I'm filming. I'm in my bedroom, and this is a necklace that my friend made for me. This is a real glass eye that they use. It's got like the little veins in it and everything, and it's hollow, and so you can pop it in. So she made me a necklace with a real glass eye. So I just happened to reach over and grab it. I have props. I got props.
Well, it made at least the backstory makes me feel a little bit more comfortable as to why you just have an eye on the ready. So who do you think is going to get their eye plucked out this Sunday?
I hope that it's Seth Rollins, and I do think it's because he's going to go off and be with Becky for a little bit and do a little R&R and have that. That way he also is away a little bit from the COVID, so he doesn't bring it back to her and the baby, you know. But I want it to be Seth because, not because of Pirate Seth, but because of Seth's current, like, form, I guess. I don't know. He's not in his final form, but he's in a form, his current form. He could be the ultimate Bond villain if he came back with an eye patch.
That's
like,
true.
Full on that like weird fur coat that he's wearing and the gloves and an eye patch and like a fluffy cat. Like, he'd be good to go.
I love it.
like
a weird, like, but somewhere between Dr. Evil and an actual Bond villain.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Hello, Rey Mysterio."
Yeah,
my eye. Now I take your son.
I'd be here for that because I do love this Seth Rollins. So, good God, we still have 4 matches to go here. We go to Braun Strowman, who is not defending the championship that he holds against Bray Wyatt in a Wyatt swamp fight. Whatever. Again, I don't know what a horror show is. I don't know. There we go. Brittany's putting the veil on. I don't know what the hell a Wyatt swamp fight is. Devin says Seth Rollins is going to win that one, and Lou has Rey Mysterio.
I was really hoping Brittany was going to pull out a swamp thing match, just like reaching over with additional props.
Yeah, I don't know what a Wyatt swamp fight is, and I assume that we're going to get rocking chair Bray Wyatt for this. No clue. But because there's not a title involved, Bray's going to get the win, which, then we got to get the rubber match at SummerSlam. So yeah, I'm going to go Bray Wyatt, on this one. So Ryan, what do you got?
Here's my, my 3 takes on this match. It's really just 2, I suppose. Bray Wyatt will win this one. It is going to be Swamp Bray, Rocking Chair Bray, as I believe you called him. Wyatt family Bray Wyatt. And then we will see The Fiend at SummerSlam for the 3rd match. We'll see all 3 flavors, like a Neapolitan ice cream, if you will, of Bray Wyatt. And I hope for the entire duration of this match, they just loop the Skinner theme song for the entirety of the match, and I will be fine. If not that, they could play the song Swamp Music by Leonard Skinner, and I think that would pass as well. Unless Leonard Skinner's been canceled, I don't know.
I'm not sure. Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, so it does make sense, I guess, for like Rocking Chair Bray to appear, but it doesn't make sense to me for him to win. I feel like we don't see that win come until it's The Fiend. So I have Braun picking up the win, power slamming him through said rocking chair, and we get to finally at SummerSlam, The Fiend taking on Braun Strowman.
Now, Ryan, well, once the lady on the YouTube video stops talking about how she's not voting for Trump this time, which is apparently the only ad on YouTube anymore. Are you talking this theme for Skinner? Or are you talking
The World Wrestling.
God damn it, this theme? This one. Like frogs and crickets and shit.
The entire time, just loud frogs and crickets.
Sure. I think
that for this match though is going to be shit, I forget the guy's name now from Tough Enough.
ZZ
Okay.
from Alligator.
He lives here with us.
Tim, who do you have in whatever the hell a swamp fight is?
So I think what's going to happen is Bobby Boucher is going to show up, and he's going to drop kick Braun Strowman, and Boogaloo Bray is going to win.
Perfect. Brittany, who do you got here?
Oh man, I mean, first off, ZZ does live in New Orleans. He came and trained with us a little bit after he left, but he works at a wildlife reserve, like showing snapping turtles and crocodiles and stuff.
Does he work with Joe Exotic, the Tiger King, or is
No, that's not here in New Orleans, not here in Louisiana. Pretty close though. But I think neither are gonna win. I think this one is gonna something's gonna happen where they don't win to build up to SummerSlam, so that it can be. So I do think neither's gonna win. However, I do think it's gonna be Swamp Wyatt. I don't think it's gonna be the Fiend. However, I do think they're gonna do the red lighting the entire match.
Perfect. Somehow the light in a swamp is just red.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the singles match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defending against Nikki Cross. I'm simply going to just predict Bayley retaining here. I'll elaborate more with the next women's title match. Ryan, how about you?
I agree.
Matt, how about you?
Yes.
Thank you. Tim, how about you?
Yeah, Bayley.
Perfect. Brittany, how about you?
I felt like we were all in a weird council meeting where we were
Yes.
voting for something.
Yes.
Yes. I want Nikki to win. I mean, I'm sure Bailey's probably going to retain it, but I just want to root for Nikki. I want my little Spitfire to win so bad. I want her to win. So I'm going to go with Nikki just so that I can feel good about myself and also just be sorely disappointed when it doesn't happen.
I think disappointment might be the theme for this pay-per-view. Asuka defending Devin had Nikki picking up the win here in that one. A singles match for the Raw Women's title. Asuka defending against Sasha Banks. I think Sasha is going to get her title here, and Sasha and Bayley are just going to reign supreme at least until SummerSlam. There's been a few MVPs throughout this empty arena era, and the Sasha Bayley combo have absolutely, especially over the last month, 6 weeks, have just been spectacular. Once they got the tag titles, Bayley with the women's title, it has been as appointment TV as you can get in this era. They've been very, very good. Ryan, how about you here?
Jim, just mere weeks ago, you were suckling from the teat of Asuka, saying that she was the greatest thing of the COVID era.
I
Her
didn't say she
you
wasn't.
loved it. It was the greatest thing. I saw you. It's on video, Jim. Absolutely, Asuka's going to retain. You can't change it. Asuka's winning and retaining.
Matt, how about you?
Oh my.
I can vouch for the suckling of the teat portion of
I
Riot.
fucked up. I should have hit this sounder.
I'm gonna drink a big glass of milk.
I broke myself on that one. Matt.
I will say too, just to backtrack a bit, tip of the cap to no one making any type of glass eye jokes and referencing HBK, because I was going to do it myself, but I felt it was very off brand. I can vouch for the suckling of the teeth portion of the speech, but I do not vouch for the Asuka portion. I do think Sasha gets the win just because I have always been on record of suckling the teat of Sasha, saying she's the greatest thing ever. I still agree.
I'm gonna drink a big glass of milk.
Thank you. So I will just stick with that, Sasha and Bayley 2 belts for the rest of 2020.
Or at least until August, which could be the end of 2020. New Year's Day might be Labor Day weekend at this point.
Playing with house money here, so you know.
Tim, how about you?
So I've been theory crafting in my brain what the WWE is going to do next to make the horror show that is WWE in 2020 that much better.
You're cutting out there.
So true. So for my prognostication to come true, Sasha Banks has to win here.
Okay.
So we can do. Are you losing me? Hello?
Yeah, a little
There he
bit.
is.
A little bit. We heard Sasha Banks has to win, and then it cut off.
So I got prognostications and things going on in my brain that have to go down, and in order for that to work, Sasha's got to win. Because I think they're going to do something real funky. They're going to do something real funky at SummerSlam.
There he is.
Lou said 2020 got Tim.
We're gonna do something really funky.
Jesus. Brittany, who do you got here? Asuka versus Sasha Banks.
Sure. I think that if it were to go my way, which nothing in 2020 has gone my way, but if it were to go my way, Bayley would lose her title to Nikki, and Sasha would get her title from Asuka, and that would cause Sasha and Bayley to be like fight again, because eventually down the road they're gonna have them battle again and be frenemies. It's just it is a repetitive cycle that we're never gonna break. It is Groundhog Day. Becky and Sasha are Groundhog Day over and over again when it comes to that. But I think Asuka's gonna retain. I mean, what do you do with Asuka after that? Where does Asuka go?
Yeah, I have no clue. I mean, unless
where do we go from here? Unless it's the end of the world, and then they're like, okay, it's fine.
Oh, don't even put that out in the universe. God knows what could happen. Well, I'd say earlier I don't know if you are aware of the Twitter account, like Old Takes Exposed, where like somebody will have a bad take and they'll dig it up years later when they've proven to be wrong. And somebody had tweeted like 2.5 years ago that the world was going to end July 16th, 2020. And at like 2:00 this afternoon, Old Takes Exposed, like quote retweeted. And I'm like, hello, there's still hours left in the day. Don't you dare put that out there. I still have a podcast to do.
Yeah, this is not the year for that.
So I think we did lose Tim.
What was Tim's answer? Was it Sasha Banks in the library with the wrench? I didn't hear the rest of it.
That was definitely gonna hit her on the head and just it like it was gonna bounce off. I'm not sure if he jumps back in, we'll get him back on. Devin said Alaska is going to win. I assume he means Asuka, and autocorrect got him. That's what I assume.
No, Alaska's
but at this point, there may be somebody debuting as Alaska and getting the win here. This year, no free
it's literally just going to be a moose from Alaska. It just comes in, it just storms the stage.
Just the
Moose is the other show. Moose was the other show.
The other show. It's just going to be this. No, it's going to be the 6-foot tall stuffed moose that I took a picture with along the King's Highway in Ontario when I vacationed there a few years ago. That thing's going to come to life and is going to come and win the Raw Women's title. Let's look at the main event. We finally have made it to the main event of this program. It is the to be determined match for the WWE Championship. So we're going to give a prediction on what we think the stipulation for this will be. It is Drew McIntyre defending his WWE Championship against Dolph Ziggler, because apparently all you have to do to get a WWE Championship match is to be part of a trade to Raw, and then you just walk in and like, I got a title match. So maybe Heath Slater should have tried that. He should have just said, I want a title match, and he could have gotten one. But my prediction for this, to somehow get some sort of like continuity on this show. Intern Mark's watching with us in the on the live video. He couldn't join us on the call, but he's somehow with us here in the chat.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. I'm going to say this is going to be the lone Extreme Rules match on this program, which is going to be way wrong, because why would there be an Extreme Rules match on this show? But Dolph is going to lose. Drew McIntyre is going to retain and set up a program for SummerSlam against, could be Moose, could be Ken Shamrock. I don't know. Ryan, who do you got here?
This is going to be a sleepaway camp match to tie into the horror shows. and inside of the sleepaway camp, they will have a steel cage erected where they will be tied to each corner and have to saw their foot off to begin the match like Saw. And Drew McIntyre will retain. But Curtis Axel will be in this match too.
Oh.
Matt.
The perfect reaction. So wait, was this like a twofold question? Are we supposed to predict
the stipulation because Dolph hasn't announced it yet for whatever good reason, and then who's going to win?
All right, so it's going to be a Sunny on a pole match. The loser has to subscribe to the OnlyFans for a full calendar year and put up all legal fees for the next decade. And Drew McIntyre gets the win, and we see Dolph Ziggler's fortune just disappear because legal fees.
Because that's to get her out.
A small loan of $1 million.
Brittany, what's the stipulation, and who comes out the WWE champion?
Well, okay. First of all, Sleepaway Camp 1 or 2?
First of all, there were 4 sleepaway camps.
I know, but the first 2 were. The second one was very interesting. So Sleepaway Camp 1 or 2?
Oh, the first one. Angela's going to be in the corner with her dong out.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. I just needed to make sure because I had it in my mind and I was like, well, that could be a possibility, but let's see. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
So I was thinking that it could be Sleepaway Camp 2 where she comes back to life as a man.
2020.
Or as a woman.
There is that -1 that you were talking about.
Yeah.
It wasn't Brian Adams. Shit.
So I think the stipulations are going to be something, honestly, again, even though this is called the Horror Show at Extreme Rules, I think this is going to be just not a boring match. Boring is a horrible word, but boring is the only word that I can think of. I think it's going to be because of Dolph Ziggler, it's going to be just a simple grappling match. I mean, he was a collegiate wrestler at Kent State, where I went to school. So it's where I go to school. So I think that it probably is just going to be like a whole I can out wrestle you, big Scottish man.
Boring.
You big sexy Scottish man. You just that's what he's gonna say. Those exact words he's gonna say. You big sexy.
Direct quote.
You big sexy Scottish man.
I can out wrestle you. Now come over here and take your shirt off. I don't know, or it's gonna be a baby pool full of lube, whatever. It's 2020. Who knows?
Oh my!
The baby pool. That's so you're kind of agreeing with Matt. It's a Sunny on a pole match.
Right.
Kind of. This is the pre-show to that.
He goes by Cloudy now, by the way.
You know, as we're backing up.
That's by Overcast.
Overcast.
As we're backing up to move, I found I had a copy of Sonny's book. For some reason, didn't make it into the going on to the next house box. It ended up in the garbage bin. But
Shame.
Thing sucks.
I did read some of it. There was pages you could color. Going on in that.
Wow. Okay.
Pages that were stuck together. It runs the whole gamut on that one.
I got it when I was 16,
Gotta do what you gotta do. Look,
yeah, you gotta take care of business where business is taken care of. Devin says this will be a TLC match and Drew will win. Jason says this will clear.
No, hold on, a TLC match
Sure.
with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre at Extreme Rules.
No, the horror show at
The
Extreme
horror
Rules.
show
sorry.
at Extreme Rules. He says, Jason says this will clearly be a Heath Slater on a pole match, and Drew retains.
Oh.
I do think Drew's going to retain regardless of what it is. Drew's
Yes, I God, I would hope so. But again, 2020. So.
Maybe this one is filmed inside the Haunted Mansion at Knoebels.
Oh, there you go. That's an exciting one.
It's a great dark ride. That's a nice twist.
Not the Haunted Mansion at the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk.
Oh, the one in Funland? That one's fantastic too.
Is it really? Have you actually gone on that?
Of course I have.
Well, yeah, that was a dumb question.
Yeah, but you sit on it. It's weird. It's like you sit in the car and it hangs.
You sit on it and spin? Is that what you do?
That's a different ride.
Yeah.
That's a different ride.
That's at the Purple Parrot in Rehoboth.
Oh.
Totally different things.
I'm lost on everything that you guys are talking about, so I'm just going to agree.
Ryan, Lou asks, does Drew hit the Claymore with his sawed-off foot? Did you say something?
No, it wouldn't be a foot anymore. It's a nub, but he absolutely does.
So he hits it. Okay, he hits him with the nub.
He'll hit it with the nub. He'll slap his thigh. Randy Orton won't say anything about it because it's on his fucking brand, but he's definitely going to slap his leg too.
Okay.
He'll nub the shit out of him though. He'll be nubbed to death.
Death by nubbing. Death by nubbing. All right,
show, baby.
Let's exactly. All
Hey,
right.
you don't really call it a nub. It's more of a stump, right?
Sure.
It would be a stump, I suppose. A nub is more of an arm thing, I guess.
So then does he call it like, does he call it the stump more or the clay stump moving forward?
Stump more. I think stump more has a better
ring.
Talk less, stump more. We'll just
You
change
will
up the
definitely
shirt.
Buy that shirt, Jim. You know.
Merry Christmas to me. Yay.
No,
Yay.
he's going to change his name to the Texas Tornado and be just fine.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow.
All right, let's give a grade what we think this show is going to do. I'm going to go with D+. I'm going to go with a D+. I think that I want to be as optimistic as I can, but
D+.
Yeah.
Jim, I don't think I've ever heard you give below like a
No,
D+.
you probably never have. We're reaching new territory, folks. D+. I can only be surprised at this point. Ryan, you're going with F?
And goddamn well next week Jim's going to be like, I thought it was really good. I was pleasantly surprised at all of the outcomes. It was a really good show. A-. Yeah, absolutely F.
Matt.
Yeah. By Jim's standards, it wasn't that great. I'll give it my lowest grade ever, an A-. So like a 90.1.
I do have to go through with my new grading system again, but I have to remember back a month ago to remember how I did that. So we'll see if I can do that at this point, because my brain is like mush.
It's tough for me to be so negative now when I'm working with a D+ and an F here. So I will give it a big old goose egg, a 0.
0.0.
Thing sucks.
That's another soundbite I gotta get. Brittany, how about you?
Well, I mean, I gave Slammiversary a C, not knowing anything about it since last Slammiversary. I'm just gonna middle of the road it and say a C- because I don't want to give it a D or an F because I don't want to be that mean. I just like,
that's sweet.
It's one of those things of like, I don't understand obviously because I'm not a millionaire, but I understand that in the time of COVID, like working with certain things is very difficult and being able to put on stuff is difficult. So I understand, but I also I just think at this point, somebody has lost their mind in writing or they're at this point, they're like, you know what, because we can film these cinematic matches, we're gonna have ninjas. and we're gonna have an eye for an eye match. Like, because we can film these cinematic matches, we're gonna next time to outshine AEW, they're gonna have dinosaurs. Like, it's going to be full on Jurassic World.
Like literal
Like,
dinosaurs, not like half human, half dinosaur.
no, like literal, like they're gonna have like mini raptors chasing like R-Truth or something for the 24/7 championship. Like, and like
I believe the term is jump the shark. And we may have hit that point with the cinematic matches because it looks like we're gonna
they
have
might
at least
have
two
a
of them.
jumping shark. That might
They
come.
might.
That could happen.
I mean, they're in
Sharks with
Orlando.
freaking laser beams shooting out of their heads.
Shooting out of their heads.
That, oh my goodness, Seth Rollins will come back with his eye patch and like his evil villain
Charlie,
thing.
what up, brother? Let's see here. Lou says F or a G. If we can give it a G. Devin
Sure.
has D plus, and Jason says this will be AEW level trash.
That's gonna be bad.
So man, that's rough. All right.
Is that Rhinosaurus? I see Rhinosaurus making his debut.
Now intern Mark says a jumping shark would be fantastic. Intern Mark loves what was that, the dancing shark from with Katy Perry.
No, he loves Jocelyn.
Left
Well,
shark.
he does love Jocelyn as well.
He also loves the Baby Shark song.
Nobody loves the Baby Shark song.
No.
Nobody.
Mark and my daughter are the two people that apparently do.
that sounds about accurate.
One of them is the target demographic. The other one.
All right. Real quick here. It was the 5th anniversary this week of when Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha got called up to Monday Night Raw. So a lot of the focus from WWE social media and whatnot was dedicated to the women's evolution this week. So it kind of made me bring up a thought. What was your favorite match from the women's evolution?
What's your favorite match?
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
Who?
Like, know what we know about Stone Cold. You can watch that video and you can tell he's like really restraining himself from striking.
Oh, dude, like,
that
yeah,
moment.
if you've listened to his podcast or anything, like, you know that he just wanted to let him fly. And you like, when anybody gets white knuckled, like, to stop themselves from saying something, like, there was a lot of things Stone Cold Steve Austin wanted to say there. But
say, just like I feel like he really wanted to like throw fists at that moment.
Yeah, like he just wanted to let loose.
He wasn't going to use any words at all.
That's
Zero
true.
words.
Zero,
Yeah.
0.0 words.
Like he would have had to be like restrained by like producers.
Bill DeMott by Bill DeMott. But
Irony.
for me, and I know probably wasn't part of like the technical like women's evolution in the WWE, but when I think about the change in the division and some of the superstars that got us there, the match between Sasha and Bayley at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn in 2015 will always be like at the top or right near the top of like those matches that just absolutely to this day just blow me away. That's a match you can put on at any time. That is an all-timer, that match. But really, you know, from matches like that to the main event of WrestleMania last year, and I know like the match itself didn't turn out the way that I think anybody wanted it to, but the moment itself, you know, if you would have gone back, I mean, since around WrestleMania 30 time is when we've been producing this show. And I think at WrestleMania 30, it was like a Divas Battle Royal that lasted all of like 4 minutes or something. I mean, it was really like to go from that to 5 years later, not only like women main eventing, but Ronda Rousey. And I know like people have mixed feelings about Ronda Rousey in the WWE, but like, imagine somebody telling you that at WrestleMania 30, like 5 years from now, it's going to be Ronda Rousey and one of the women that helped out in Triple H's entrance tonight. And then Becky Lynch, who we didn't even know who that was at that point, are going to be main eventing WrestleMania. I don't think we ever could have imagined that. So, like, I mean, that obviously is a moment, more of a moment that will forever stick out as kind of almost, and not that the women's evolution or whatever is over, but like, I mean, those are kind of like these bookended pieces of time. Ryan, what?
I'm going to hit you with two different things. I think you're absolutely right. I think the main event of 35 was very, very magical. Like I said, the match didn't, I don't think, pan out. There was the botch ended, whatever it was. It just, something wasn't there. But the entrances were superb. The Charlotte on the helicopter, it was so well done. And like you said, just the addition of Ronda Rousey. I know she's not one of the original 4 horsewomen, but that was just a magical moment. And to see that live and to feel like the pulse of the crowd when that happened, it was unreal. It really was. I can't put into words how special of a moment that felt being live there. I think the biggest myth,
at that point, it was like hour 12 of WrestleMania too.
Man, the crowd was so hot. They really, really were. Awesome. They knew something big was going to happen. And 35 was just so well done. I'd love to do a whole show on 35. I know Mark was there with me. And we have a ton to talk about from the show itself. But the biggest miss is we never saw the 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen. And I know it's a Ronda Rousey thing, not there. Shafir and Jasmine Duke starting later in NXT. It just, man, I don't know why it just didn't work out, but the story wrote itself. You could have had a showdown, build it for a fucking year, and then blew it off finally at following WrestleMania. It just never happened. And as a sports fan, a UFC guy, and like a WWE guy, that sucks.
Yeah, I agree. Matt.
Obviously the Iron Woman match, Sasha Bailey is probably number 1 for me. Sasha versus Becky at Unstoppable in 2015. I think is a match we should do a watch along for, because I think it's one of the underrated gems of like what we see. Because that was the first time I really remember. Like, I was always a Sasha fan, but that was like when Becky really sold me as like, she is probably number 2. And I think eventually became number 1 of the 4 horsewomen in my eyes. So those 2 things. But I think in terms of moments, you just kind of have to look to WrestleMania and just a lot of what Charlotte has done through her career. She's been kind of my least favorite of the 4 horsewomen, but I've always just kind of respected what Charlotte has been to the business, because she obviously has Rick, but she's kind of like separated herself over these past few years to just really stand on her own. I know when she first started coming into the main scene, like, we saw Rick too much. So I think from that, kind of standing on her own, even if I don't necessarily think she's the best, I think she just kind of has that presence about her. She carries herself very well. She takes the business very seriously. So I think Charlotte has always kind of embodied the whole wrestling feel very well. So a lot of her matches, they might not be the best, but I think you can see that she works her ass off in those matches and carries out a lot, especially in that WrestleMania match, like, because Ronda was the biggest name but the weakest link. And I think that really showcased what Charlotte does in terms of like putting a match together and making someone with lesser talent look a lot better than they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm somebody who, at times have said, like, I kind of get Charlotte fatigued. And I think a lot of us do. And I mean, moments like right now where she is taking some time off, I think when she does return, we'll all be able to appreciate her better for it. But there's never any denial of just how good she actually is. Shout out to like Tim and Marcus, who do the Final Wrestling Place, their episode this past week, because they've been doing like the Boys and Girls of Summer. They highlighted Charlotte Flair, and I thought it was a really great episode. Brittany, your thoughts on one or some of your favorite matches from the women's evolution?
Well, it's one of those things of I was at WrestleMania 30 because it was in New Orleans, and so I was there, and that was the Divas, whatever you want to call it. It was something. But you were just excited. I remember being there and just being excited to see them, see all of the see the Divas even just wrestle, because there's been shows that I've watched where you don't even have even one women's match on the card at all. So it was just like, ooh, they get to do something. It's like less than 5 minutes long, but whatever, they got to do something. Like, it's great. And seeing all of the NXT matches, I mean, when Charlotte and Becky and Sasha and Bayley were in NXT, those takeover matches, you go back now and watch them, and they are some of the greatest matches. I mean, now people are paying attention to them on the main roster, but like, they fought hard in those NXT matches. Like, they fought hard, like their career depended on it. Like, it was like one of those things of like, they're like, all right, this might be my last match, let's go. Like, it was, some of those matches almost seemed like retirement matches. They were giving it their all, and it's like, oh, they're not going to be on the show for the rest of the year, they're going to be hurt, I would say the unveiling of the new women's championship, when they first unveiled it, when they got rid of the Divas championship and they unveiled the women's championship, that was so iconic and great to see. And even though the Divas era is like, it has its place in the wrestling history, like mostly it has its place, it did bring some great people into the wrestling world who were a diva throughout their entire career, and you have those moments, but it's nice to see them come back, like being able to see like Molly Holly and like, Alicia Fox and just all these people come back and do, like when they did the Women's Royal Rumble, and seeing them make their little guest appearances and stuff like that, seeing them come back into a women's wrestling match, and it not being a bra and panties match, or being a evening gown match, or being a whipped cream match, I don't know, whatever.
Right, like
but
match
it's
is the pudding match, or
the
whatever,
pudding matches, the mud matches, whatever.
random thing they had them wrestle in.
Right. It was so nice to see, and so I just like to see where it goes. And I honestly, like, as much as I love the main roster in SmackDown and Raw in WWE, NXT roster is where it's at. It always has been, every single time. They just moved Bianca Belair up. Bianca Belair I'm happy they moved her up, like, congratulations, but I'm also sad because I don't know if they'll be able to utilize her as well as they were on NXT. On NXT, she was a big fish in a small pond. Now she's going to be a big fish or a small fish in a big pond. So, like, I mean, I hate when those kind of things get lost in the shuffle with WWE sometimes, because I love seeing them get brought up to the main roster, but sometimes I'm like, no, just keep them here on NXT. NXT is technically, it's a main roster to me, damn it. It's the third brand. We established this. We had a whole pay-per-view for it.
Yeah, damn it. They won. They won, damn it.
They won. There's a third. They're on USA. There's no need to bring people up.
Sure, yeah.
There's no need.
And I mean, like, Bianca made a surprise appearance on Raw this past week, so like, hopefully it's like a sign of things to come. That is the hope. I pulled up the WrestleMania 30 card. AJ Lee defeated Oksana, Alicia Fox, Brie Bella, Cameron, Emma, Eva Marie, Layla, Naomi, Natalia, Nikki Bella, Rosa Mendez, Summer Rae, and Tamina in the Vicky Guerrero Invitational for the Divas Championship in 6 minutes and 48 seconds.
Whatever happened to Oksana?
I don't know. She just gone back to Russia, I guess. I don't know. I honestly have no clue.
Yeah,
On the internet, find out for us.
Yeah.
Google.
The other thing that stands out to me with the Four Horsewomen is when NXT started, like, it was their first like nationwide tour, and I got to go and see them in the Philly area, and we all know how fickle Philly fans can be, especially with their wrestling. And the main event that night was was Sasha versus Charlotte, and like it brought the house down. And this is a night where you saw Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Triple H made a surprise appearance. Like Tyler Breeze was still in his heyday. Like some huge Bo Dallas was there, so it's like big names in NXT that then became big names in WWE, and the headline was Sasha versus Charlotte, and the fans were just like eating out of their palms the entire match. Like they just exactly, it was just phenomenal, and that's when you really knew, or I really knew, like this is something special. Like wrestling fans get that women's wrestling is about to take a huge leap beyond what we've seen.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously been there's been plenty of other moments over the women's evolution, and I know this week there's a lot of speculation because apparently the weekend after SummerSlam, the WWE is planning some sort of other special event on the network, and I know some people have been speculating that it could be the Hall of Fame. Others have been speculating that it could be another Evolution pay-per-view. And you know, we kind of talked about the Hall of Fame last week, or last week or the week before, that you know you could, that if they're going to do it this year, it's going to be remote. It's going to be like virtual. It's going to be this sort of a scenario. So I think that they, at this point, you might as well hold off and just, I don't know, roll it over into next year, or you know, hope for Royal Rumble, and then like we said, you could do Undertaker by himself at Mania next year. But you know, I would be all on board for another Evolution pay-per-view. You could get a little bit tricky because I think on the first one, I think they had some of the NXT UK talent, and obviously with travel restrictions that could be hard right now, but you have plenty of,
I want to come here.
yeah, they certainly do not. Can't blame them either.
No.
But you know, you have plenty of talent you know, in the States that's usable, and I, you know, I think there's also some talent out there that you know, whether it's, you know, part-time or, you know, legends of the division that you could possibly bring in, and so I think, you know, if that's what it is, I'm on board for an Evolution too at this point. Ryan, we'll go around. Ryan, your thoughts on that potential?
I wasn't listening to a word you said. My apologies. I was looking up whatever happened to Oksana.
What happened? What happened to her?
For everybody, she was released from the WWE June 12th, 2014. It was Black Thursday, the same day they released JTG. They released Drew McIntyre that day. Jinder Mahal was released that day. Oksana, Kurt Hawkins, Teddy Long, Camacho, big old Brodus Clay, Evan Bourne, Yoshi Tatsu, and referee Mark Harris was all released that day. And then she ventured down to beautiful Tampa, Florida, beautiful this time of year. She was a director of trainers at a health club called UFIT, and has since started her own business as a personal trainer.
How about that?
And she's from Lithuania. She wasn't even like Russian.
Oh, well, my bad.
I don't know where Lithuania is at though, so maybe it's in Russia. Who knows?
Eastern Europe.
She told me I was pretty at Access when I saw her. She told me her and Rosa Mendez both told me that I was pretty, so that's why I wanted.
Well, there you have it. She was right.
Yeah,
she knows what you're talking about.
Absolutely. So Ryan, yes or no? Would you be in favor of a Evolution 2?
As long as Oksana comes back, yes.
Perfect. Matt, any thoughts?
Only if Oksana's back. Yes, 100%. I would like to see the Mae Young Classic come back too. I think they have a lot of talent that they could put into that. I don't know why we got away from those tournaments. I think they were very well received. That and the tag team ones, like very fun stuff for wrestling fans to watch. And you could certainly do those types of things in front of an empty arena. Like I feel like they sort of did anyway. But yes, Evolution 2, please.
I mean, they won't, if they do the Mae Young Club, they won't have Jim Ross there at a cowboy hat blue circle the whole time. So maybe that's why they abandoned that one.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
do
just
it. I'll
bring
do it for them.
just bring Jerry the King back so he can scream puppies randomly.
Sauce it.
Brittany, your thoughts on a potential for Evolution 2?
I mean, obviously, last time I checked, I am a woman, and so like I definitely want a second Evolution. I want the Mae Young Classic back every year. I don't know why they haven't continued on. If they're so starved for content, that's an easy thing they already have set in place to give us instead of the horror show at Extreme Rules. They could have had the Mae Young Classic at Extreme Rules and then just had Extreme Rules as well. Like, it's like we can do these things. I'm all for it. I want us to find Oksana so bad, and I want her to come back. I really, now that I know, I wonder if she's still in Tampa. I don't
think is anybody allowed to leave Florida at this point? I've lost track of.
But
track of that
she's
state.
still in Tampa. If we're all still alive come next year, and Louisiana and my company can still run shows again, I definitely want to try to find her and book her. This is like one of those weird VH1s, Where Are They Now? Where like I go and find her, and then I bring her to a show, and I'm like, look.
I was thinking like Elevate Pro can do like that kind of like on the road with Brittani Nikole as she like finds these wrestlers that she wants to come to the show.
Where are they now?
My brother lives in St. Pete, so I'll tell him to keep his eye out,
Okay,
for
good. Thank you.
for Oksana. But all right, one last thing. I'm going to skip over. I was going to do kind of our favorite matches from Big Four pay-per-views, but we'll save that for next week. Because I mean, we don't want to spend too much time recapping the horror show. That'll keep us focused. But I do want to bring this up. Obviously, we know about the WWE and the COVID cases and all of that. And it kind of came out this week, and it was on a podcast, a French podcast. Anti-Pods of the Fight is what the I'm not even going to try to pronounce it in French. But
Please do.
Nope, not going to do it. Is what it translates to. But Kevin Owens was the person who raised concerns with Vince McMahon during the July 3rd taping. He said that he wasn't comfortable the amount of people not wearing masks, people being too close to one another. And he said, and that I think was the when he had left for those tapings. Vince McMahon, according to Kevin Owens, asked him what he wanted Vince to do, and that Vince McMahon was the only person WWE employees would listen to. Since then, they have created a policy where if you do not have a mask on at the tapings, you'll be first fined $500, $1,000, and then the fines would continue to go up if you were not wearing a mask at the tapings. Obviously, we retweeted the video anytime he reshared it. Kevin Owens' wife, grandmother, had recently passed away due to COVID-19. So, I just, we hear a lot of horror stories about Vince McMahon and his approachability and things like that. But when there's something like this that is noteworthy, and we have seen, we've gone over that WWE could have done a lot better for a while, but now they are they're at least getting it right now, for what it's worth. And that Kevin Owens was the person that basically stood up to Vince and was like, we have to do something different here. And that Vince, not only listened, went along with it, and now has implemented a change. Definitely wanted to highlight Kevin Owens on that. We'll go around if anybody has any thoughts on this story that came out this week.
Jim, I again wasn't listening to a word you said.
Thank you.
I did, however, find Oksana on LinkedIn. So, Brittany, there is a chance we
go.
can get Oksana down to Elevate Pro. She is on LinkedIn. It looks like she's still in the Tampa area. Kudos to Kevin Owens.
Then I will forgive you for not listening, Matt.
I will say that when you were telling that story, it still kind of felt like Vince was being a dick. Like when you were like, when Vince asked, what would you like me to do? I kind of heard him be like, what do you want me to do about this? So I don't really like
Hey, pal, what do you think I am? The guy everybody listens to?
what am I supposed to do about people dying? What do I care? So, but you know, at the end of the day, they did the right thing. So sure, Vince, 2 thumbs up.
There you go. Brittany, any thought?
Yeah, it's one of those things of this is such a weird time, and no one necessarily knows the best, especially dealing with. Thank goodness they're not dealing with live audiences, like full audiences, and so no one necessarily knows how to handle the situation. And could they have like implemented the mask sooner? Yes, but Florida itself wasn't even really implementing the masks until just recently.
Right.
So it's one of those things of the fact that they like that AEW and stuff was doing it beforehand, and now they've even implemented it more so because they before were not having the people on the sides wear the actual masks during the tapings. It was only in between tapings. And so now they're actually wearing the masks during the full tapings, but beforehand, nobody was wearing them during the tapings. And I can understand quality, like content wise, when you're like filming, obviously in their mindset, they're like, why would I film all of you with a bunch of masks on? That just looks weird. Like we're not used to seeing that. So like, it's not something that they're used to. So yeah, it's a really weird time. And the fact that they're still able to run shows is nice for them. But it's also still just really scary. Like I feel like right now, if you're running shows, independent shows too, if you're running shows, like masks should be required. You know, if you're running shows, social distancing should be required. We're all adults. Well, most of us are adults.
Right.
And so it's one of those things of you're like, oh, I've seen people be like, why do I have to wear a mask if your mask works? Doesn't it protect you? Well, yes, but like you need to protect. Just wear the mask.
The analogy I use, because I had somebody bring that up to me this week, and I said, look, here's the deal. If I piss myself and I'm not wearing pants, everything around me gets covered in piss. However, if I piss myself and I'm wearing pants, I'm the only one that gets covered in piss. So that, like, to me, and I tried to like dumb it down, because at this point I feel like if you're still playing the if you're wearing it, why should I have to? That's the level of like analogy, right? And that's the analogy I have to present you with.
Yeah.
And their response was, well, at least I'm potty trained. And I was like, are you sure?
Right. Yeah. How is that? Yeah. The analogy that I've been using in New Orleans is like a Mardi Gras thing of being like, okay, you're getting ready for Mardi Gras in a house of 10 people. One person has glitter. How many of you will have glitter on you before it's over? Like, it's one of those things of like, yeah, it's like one person has glitter in a house of 10 people. How many people will have glitter on them?
Everybody.
All 10. Yeah, everyone.
Everybody has the glitter. In fact, 12 people somehow. There's going to be 2 people outside of that house somehow are going to have the glitter. But yeah, wear the mask. It's that simple. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. Let's go around. We'll start Brittany and we'll work backwards. Brittany, where can people follow you and what you're doing in quarantine?
You can follow all of the things I'm not doing and then all the things I am doing. You can all follow all the things I wish I was doing in quarantine at Look It's Brittany, LOOKITS and that's on all social media. I streamlined it. You can also follow my company, Elevate Pro, online as well. It's also just at Elevate Pro on any other things. And the one thing I do have coming up when it comes to quarantine is, hopefully it still happens, is in September, I will be at Mission Pro Wrestling in Texas for Thunder Rosa's promotion. I'm doing commentary with Holly Dead.
Nice.
So me and Holly Dead are doing commentary together for Mission Pro Wrestling.
Awesome. Make sure you give Brittany a follow. Matt, where can people follow you?
Follow me on Twitter. It's at 3CT, the letter A, Philly, as in Philadelphia, the number 8, so 3CT affiliate. Baseball starting up soon. Sixers are coming back. Notre Dame's probably not. So, like, my obnoxious level is going to be like 35%. Here's the thing. No woman of the week this week. Again, lazy. I'm trying to sell this house that I'm in. So, hey, York, Pennsylvania, if you're looking for a house, I know of one.
There you go.
So I did not get any of that up. I will say that there is a good friend of mine on social media who's trying to sell some merch, 8x10s, these awesome enamel pins. I have one. They're pretty awesome. So check her out. I think her name is Look, it's Brittany. So
I think that's right. Yeah.
Check it out.
Ryan, where can people follow you to see you tell people to wear masks?
That's all I'm doing on Twitter anymore.
It is.
I've become quite a mask bad guy on Twitter. Yeah, and like I've started like playing in politics again. That's a little fun. I like, yeah, it's been a long time for Ryan. It's been since college since I actually gave a damn about politics. So it's RYN and then the word Eagle. It's RYNEAGLE. More importantly, before you do that, make sure you follow the 3 count page. Always the number 3, never the word 3. If you're not watching Slammiversary this Saturday night, coming out to the Orioles Nest in beautiful Newmanstown, Pennsylvania for Smells Like a Freak Show. It's beautiful. The Sandman's going to be there. Dame versus Tim Dunst. Huge main event match. Beta Scott's going to be in the house. It's going to be actually not in the house. We're outdoors. It's going to be a hoop.
It's going to be in the outhouse. No, that's not right either.
No, the Orioles house.
The house is going to be outside. Matt, you had a...
Yeah, one more thing. Totally forgot to plug the fact that I do record a few videos every week. 3 Count Thursday Mad Libs. Last week, friend of the show, Brittani Nikole, was on there. So check that episode out. This week we had Victoria Pop, we have Billy Starks, we have Adriana Mosley. Some fun guests lined up for next week. So watch them all. Brittany says titties at least like 4 times. So
yes,
watch that video too. But yes, that was my last.
I'm gonna drink a big glass of milk.
All right. Just go look, at this point, just go to 3countthursday.com. That has all the social media, our home network, and GSC Sports, everything else, merchandise, collar and elbow brand deal. It's literally all there. 3countthursday.com. Until next week, stay safe, stay smart, go for the pin.